Hello, and welcome to M3 and Me, Meditation, Mindfulness, Mindful Movement, and Me. I am Dr. Robin Cooper, and I will be your guide for this course. You can call me Robin, though. It's an ing thing. It's happening. I am, I will, I be, I do. A spirit being, meing. I am, infinite breath, presence, spirit, soul, source energy, being, stretching, yawning, awakening, noticing, seeing, aware. I be, rhythm, flow, body, mind, soul, here, now, believing, questioning, asking, wondering, praying, breathing, being. Stillness, present, vessel, prompted, source, energy, breathing, quieting, listening, hearing, receiving, remembering, connecting, communing, learning, understanding, knowing. I will, body, mind, spirit, soul, manifest, create, work, following promptings, moving, trusting, going, breathing. I do. Living, loving, giving, growing, learning, sowing, teaching, showing, freeing, breathing, being, meing. I am, I be, I will, I do, source energy, infinitely, being. It's happening. It's an ing thing. Let's begin the session today with an opening meditation. And we'll just relax, if you will. Allow me to guide you. We'll begin by shutting down the outside world a bit, and you can do that by closing your eyes. If you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, then cast your gaze downward and just relax, whichever works for you. Welcome to this moment, this gratitude meditation. Take a moment and get your body into a posture that supports alertness. Feel your feet on the ground. And if your feet are not on the ground, just feel your seat touching the seat. And bring your awareness to your breath, relaxing the face, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the arms, palms up, and your hands in your lap. Notice the coolness as you inhale, the coolness in your nostrils. Notice the warmth as you exhale through your nostrils. As you bring your attention to your breathing, just be curious about it. There's no need to change it. Just experience the air, the oxygen, life force coming and going, flowing in and out of your body. The author of Opening to Spirit, Carolina Shola Arewa, says, To breathe is to be alive. Hmm. Begin to meditate on your gratitude for this moment right now. And as you breathe, call to mind what it is you are grateful for in this moment. And we'll let that be our focus for our first meditation together. What is it that you're grateful for in this moment? Maybe you can see an image of it. Experience the feeling of it. Maybe there's an emotion attached to what it is you're grateful for in this moment. And breathe. Whenever your mind begins to wander away from this moment and that which you are grateful for in this moment, you can simply say out loud or in your mind, gratitude, here and now. And breathe. In this practice of collective gratitude, we raise the vibration of our space. We raise the frequency, the energy of this space that we're sharing as we be in gratitude together. And breathe. In her book, All About Love, Bell Hooks, writer, author, educator, scholar, says, rarely, if ever, are any of us healed in isolation. Healing is an act of communion. Mm. Together we heal. Together we evolve. And gratitude sets the tone. And breathe. In my experience, in my practice, I awaken each day expressing gratitude. Mm. It's an immediate connection to source for me. What are you grateful for in this moment? And maybe at this point, you begin to lengthen your breaths, a longer inhale, an even longer exhale. As you settle into this meditation, expanding the rib cage, the abdominal cage as you inhale, pulling in and contracting, all of that as you exhale slowly. Gratitude here and now. You might consider an audible sigh on your next exhale. To relax even deeper into this place of gratitude. Notice your body. Notice your feelings. Um, Gratitude here and now. Relaxing in the gratefulness. Returning to an awareness of your breath. Noticing the movement of air through your body. Noticing the feeling in your nostrils of the air coming and going. Noticing the rising and falling of your chest, of your abdominal cavity. Noticing the length of your breath, maybe. Beginning to bring some movement back into your body from this place of stillness as we prepare to return to the space. Wiggling the fingers and toes, maybe moving the shoulders, the head gently from side to side, even stretching, maybe yawning. Mm. And when you're ready, slowly opening your eyes. Mm. And if you feel so inclined, feel free to put something in the chat to describe what you felt gratitude for in the moment. No pressure, only if you want to. And while you do that, I will take a moment to introduce myself to you. I am, as I said, Dr. Robin Cooper, founder of Just So You Know, president and founder of Just So You Know Youniversity. I am a 200-hour certified yoga teacher, Reiki energy master, holistic doula, retired educator, 35 years in public schools and universities, mother, grandmother, sister, spirit being, niece, auntie, all the things. And as I said, I will be your guide for this 8-week course. So a little bit about my journey with meditation. As a child of the 60s, growing up witnessing violence inside my home and in the world at large, I was wise to many life-sustaining practices. You know the ones I'm talking about: playing, laughing, daydreaming, questioning everything, just to name a few. I also knew about meditating as a little person. The ways that I would do it is I would just lay in front of the window, and as the sun would shine through, the sun rays would shine through, I'd watch the dust particles dancing on the sun rays. And I would just get into almost a trance as I watched that dance, on a regular basis. And I could stay there for hours. I could stay there for long periods of time as a child. Of course, I would dance. I loved music, so I could lay in front of the stereo and listen to music for hours, just getting into the musicianship, listening to all of the different instruments, listening to the vocals, and attempting to feel the energy of the person who was singing, getting goosebumps as the instruments played, just really feeling and experiencing that and getting caught up in it. Watching the ants, I know you're familiar. You probably maybe did the same thing, watching ants as they went about their busyness, listening to the birds and watching them, staring up at the clouds, imagining, a different life, imagining a more peaceful life for myself and for the world. Those were some of the activities that I would just get lost in and become present, in that moment. I didn't call it meditation at the time because I didn't even know that term, but that's exactly what I was doing. And as life continued and I grew up, and more and more responsibilities that we take on as we grow up, I fell out of those practices, fell out of the practice of playing and, watching, just sitting and listening to the birds or the ants and this and that. And but life didn't stop happening. So how did I cope? Those things that I mentioned before were my coping mechanisms. Those were the ways that I made it through my childhood and through the experiences that I was having. And so now here as an adult, experiencing all kinds of uh, interactions and traumas and experiences, how did I cope without those childhood um, skills, coping skills? Well, I turned to some other coping skills, and most of them were toxic, to be honest. A lot of them were toxic. Shopping, a reckless use of drugs and alcohol and sex, overachieving, extreme practices in, for me, religiosity, the right, the wrong, the judgment, of everything and everybody. Did I mention shopping? Yeah. Of course, I found some balance because I'm still here. So I found some positive ways, or some helpful ways, I should say, to cope. A lot of it was, long baths and jazz music, or good music, and love making, and just spiritual practices, praying, journaling. So those were some of the newer ways that I found to meditate. Um, Still in my early 50s, my life, which always had undertones of sadness, hit an all-time low as I suffered the loss of one thing, one person after another. Over a 6-year period, I watched both my parents and my oldest sister suffer through their last days and eventually transition. I became an empty nester. I ended my second marriage, lost my position at work, took another leave of absence from my doctoral program. I had taken a few over the course of time, was diagnosed with arrhythmia, began to enter what was called perimenopause. I had cartilage replacement on my one knee, and this is just to name a few things. So I was falling apart holistically, mind, body, soul, spirit, emotions. I was falling apart, and it was painful. In 2013, my youngest son came home from college for a visit and saw me, struggling with life, struggling with the loss and extreme sadness. And he had taken a class in world religion. And he shared that this was his new favorite course, and that he learned something in that course that changed, the way he saw things. He said, "Mom, um, I learned about the practice of yoga and meditation. And I learned that Many successful people don't hit the ground running. They meditate before they get up and get out, every day. Maybe you should try that. So I did, I mean, what did I have to lose at that point? I was so low, And so I did. I began practicing right away. I began with 5 minutes every morning of silence. I really didn't know what else to do. I knew that meditation meant being still. So I just, right before I would open my eyes in the morning, when you notice you're coming back from the sleep world, I would just go right into meditation. Sometimes I'd fall back asleep, but for the most part, I would just be in silence, be in stillness, and I just lay there waiting, listening for what I didn't know. But as I continued that practice, first of all, the time that I was able to do that grew. So it increased from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then I could go on, and even to the point where some days I could go all day without any noise, without any interruption from the outside world, and just be in a space of meditation, in a space of silence and stillness. So um, I, it was introducing me to a new way of living. I wasn't surviving, I was living. And I was so excited. I was beginning to hear my inner voice. I was beginning to know the difference between my ego Robin voice, the one that had all these experiences and had all these stories, and the spirit, which was something I had struggled with in my I would say my early adulthood, when I was going to church and I would hear, to ask God and God will answer you. And I would always struggle with, okay, which one of those voices is God's voice? I couldn't figure it out. In my meditation practice, in my stillness and quietness, I began to be able to tell the difference between my voice and the voice of source, the voice of what I call my higher self or my God self, source energy, God. Um, and so there was so much gratitude that I had, for that reawakening, that remembering, that reconnecting, and getting back to that place from my childhood when I was able to go in, and and visualize and see and feel a different way, a different life for myself. I was excited to be reconnected to that. And so I loved it and I kept wanting and seeking more. So then in 2017, in a meditation, I was given a full blown description of this company. And you can go to YouTube and I'll put the link in the description box, but you can go to YouTube and hear the story of how Just So You Know was conceived during meditation for me. 7 years later, and almost 10 years later, after my son had ushered me back into meditation, I'm here through so many twists and turns, leaps and bounds, challenges and championships, excited to be providing this space called Just So You Know University with you, where we explore mindfulness and meditation in this particular course. But Just So You Know University itself is a space where you get to explore you. So it's my pleasure to be sharing this journey and some of the tools that I use that brought me to this place and brought me through it all. From 2019 to 2023, I was a professor at Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. And it was there that I began to see areas within myself that were still needing to be addressed, and shadows that were needing to be addressed, and areas that were needing to be healed, right? I credit my practice in mindfulness and meditation for being able to realize that. I began doing that healing work, and as I did, I became curious about how much more effective teachers or educators would be if they had an opportunity to know themselves deeply before going into a classroom to teach others, young children, This is fly. Sorry, I had to get that thing. Gnat. um, so how much more effective would teachers be if we all studied ourselves before we went into learning spaces as teachers? I took that question into meditation, and that's when Just So You Know was conceived. Just So You Know University, I should say, was conceived. In the chat, I've also, or in the description box, I've also placed a link to the video on my YouTube channel about Just So You Know University, so you get to know a little more about that. But as I said before, this is a space where you your holistic wellness begins here, because it's a space where you get to choose you. So welcome. I want to tell you a little bit about this course. This is the course description. This course serves as an introduction to the practice of mindfulness, meditation, and mindful movement. And for those who already have a practice in mindfulness or meditation, this course serves as an opportunity to expand your awareness, right? And evolve. This place is where you get the tools for deeper self-knowing and deeper self-mastery. This course, it focuses on encouraging a purposeful approach to being, which holistically engages the spirit, mind, emotions, and body in all aspects of our lives. Here we sit in stillness, remembering and remembering, putting the pieces back together, remembering ourselves as the intellectual and intelligent observer and co-creator of our own reality. In a state of awareness, we learn to master the art of intentionality as we respond to our emotions, relationships, environments, and circumstances in life instead of reacting from a habit mind or from our social conditioning. The course objectives. In this course, we will explore the art of mindfulness, mindful movement, breath work, and meditation as a means to center, calm ourselves, and ground, connect to higher wisdom, higher self, source energy, God, whatever your source is, and to the earth. We practice recognizing, observing, and transforming the conditioned mind that shames, blames, worries, fears, and engages in other self-defeating and energy-depleting behaviors. We develop an awareness of our choices and habits, the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual habits, in order to decide how to enhance them or replace them as needed. We practice stillness, being present in the now, experiencing each moment fully. In this course, we build the capacity to hear and trust our inner navigation, our God self, our inner wisdom. Being in this course, we begin incorporating mindful practices into our inner and outer worlds during and outside of course sessions. What are the outcomes of this course? As a result of this class, we will experience reduced anxiety, improved attention, increased sense of well-being, and personal empowerment, while co-creating the life we truly want. We will, as a result of this class, understand the importance of tapping in so that we know and experience ourselves holistically, deeply, and authentically. We will be prepared to further explore, connect with, and trust our intuition, wisdom, ancestral connections. We'll be more open to the limitlessness of our capabilities to transform our lives through connection to self and source. We will know how to live in balance as we demonstrate the value of both internal and external resources. We will appreciate the questions as much as the answers as we live in curiosity and wonder. What materials do you need for this course? You will need a quiet space for practice, water or other hydrating liquid, comfy clothing, layers, maybe so that sometimes when you're sitting still, you get cold, and then we do movement and you get warm. So, just have some layers nearby you so that you can get comfortable as you need to. You'll need a chair, a cushion, a sofa, some pillows, something to sit on and rest your body. You'll need a blanket or a yoga mat for practice. I suggest that if you are practicing on a hard surface, that you use a yoga mat, because you don't want a blanket to slip, and then you would fall and possibly hurt yourself. You'll need a reliable, fast internet connection, a webcam if one is not connected to your laptop, a headset or earbuds, that's optional, a journal, not optional. But what is optional is that you can use an audio journal. So if you have an audio file recorder that you use to journal, you can do that. You could use, a typical book journal, or you could use a digital journal like your iPad or something like that. You will also need to download Zoom, because our courses will happen on Zoom. Recommending a laptop or a large iPad instead of your phone, because, just so that you'll be able to see clearly everything that's going on. All right, if you have any questions, just post them in the chat, or you can email me. I'll put my email link also in the Zoom, in the description box, so that you can email me if you want your questions to be private. So cost. Today's session is a free session, the informational session, but for the 8-week course, there is a cost. I have been in deep conversation with myself about this course. This is actually the first time. And if you, like I said, if you check my video about Just So You Know and how it happened and what it's been doing, this is the first time I've charged for any of my services. So I had to have a real long conversation with myself about this. And what I decided was that I wanted to create pricing that would allow some responsiveness, or some, responsiveness to the needs of many. So I created a tier system for pricing. No matter what tier you select to pay on, you get the same information as everyone else. So it's not about exclusivity, you get more if you pay more. That wasn't a goal of mine. I just wanted to, like I said, make it available to as many people as possible. So here's how it works. And by the way, before I go on, this course is valued at $600 to me, and even more as I look at what else is being offered out here and the prices that we are paying for lots of different services. But again, this is where I am. So it's about 65% off the value of this course at this particular time. Tier 1, $70. Yep, you heard me, $70 for the entire 8-week course. Tier 2, $140 for the 8-week course. Tier 3, $210 for the 8-week course. Tier 4 is the Spread Love tier. That is, you pay the $210 plus anything over and above that you want to gift to Just So You Know University. And that gift then becomes a partial scholarship for someone who needs that in order to take a course. So I trust, before I say this part, I have taken courses that have functioned in this way with the 3-tier system, and I have paid at different tiers depending on where my finances were at the time. So I trust that each of you will be integral about the amount you're capable of paying for this course. As you know, your financial vibrational frequency and your status better than I do. I've spent hours in meditation and preparation to create this experience that will be beneficial for us all. And I'm quite certain that you will see that once you begin taking this course, and even by the end of the session today. Payment for the course is due by midnight on Wednesday, March 13th. And you can pay by Cash App or PayPal. And I'll put those links in the description as well. When you make your payment, in the notes section of your payment, just add your name and M3 and me. That's all you need to add, okay? Once I receive your payment, you'll receive all the necessary documents, the Zoom room link that we'll be using from now on, because we won't be using this same link, and the course syllabus. You will get that as well by email. So some of the necessary documents that you will get will be a welcome letter and also a waiver form. That'll be some of the forms, but you'll get everything once you make your payment. The course design. So I'll pause, give you a moment to type in your questions. And I don't need to do that because you can pause the recording. I tell you what. All right. New thing for me, course design. Weekly meetings. So the sessions will go really fast because they're only an hour long. So we'll have to be very intentional about the use of our time. And this is what I plan to do, to be intentional about the use of our time. The sessions are divided into 3 sections: information, practice, and peer engagement. For the information session, that's 15 minutes of the 1 hour. And that will involve us going through a mini lesson. I will present a mini lesson about mindfulness and meditation practices. And because I want you to have a basic understanding and foundation about the many, many types of contemplative practices, meditation practices, and mindfulness practices. So the lesson is about 15 minutes. And then the practice period is our longest session. 35 minutes of the session will be for practice, for actual meditation practice, mindfulness practices, and movement, mindful movement. Just to be clear about the mindful movement, this is not exercise. This is not aerobic. This is not yoga. It's mindful movement. It's moving your body in a mindful way, paying attention to the messages you are sending to your body and the messages you are receiving from your body. So that's what mindful movement is about. Peer engagement. The remaining 10 minutes will be spent engaging with peers in dialogue about the weekly home practice, because you will have weekly home practice activities to do. And so you'll spend 10 minutes engaging with a peer about your practice. It's also a time to get to know each other and to build community, as well as holding each other accountable and demonstrating encouraging support for one another as we go through. Let me go back a minute because I feel like I forgot to mention a few things So what I want to say about, why this is even important, why meditation, mindfulness, and mindful movement is important, is because stress and worry are often attached to the past and to the future. We worry about what already happened, or we stress over what already happened, and we stress and fret up over what might happen in the future, right? We can get so caught up in both of those activities until we don't allow for any now. We don't we allow the now to slip away unnoticed, unappreciated, unattended to. I can't enjoy or experience the present moment if in the present moment I'm always in the past, or in the present moment I'm always, worried about the future. I'm just robbing myself of the present, of the opportunities I have right now. So that is one of the reasons why meditation mindfulness is so important. Those practices help us to learn to be here now and calm ourselves tremendously, and to live as balanced beings who sit in the director's seat of our lives, champions, not victims, victims of a human experience, of a past experience, or what we think is going to be a future experience. No, it allows us to be balanced and be here now as champions. So what is meditation? What is mindfulness? I told you what mindful movement is. What meditation is, it's a lifestyle. For me, it's a lifestyle. It is not just something I do every day. It's how I live. It's how I be every day. And it can be experienced in many ways. All of them are can be good, can be beneficial. So for me, meditation is mental exercise to increase focus and awareness. It helps me to redirect, if I need to, thoughts and feelings. It helps me to support a connection between myself and my higher power, so that I'm able to hear and get direction, so that I'm able to make decisions about my life in the moment, or, in moments to come. Meditation has helped me to narrow down my purpose. What am I here for? Why was I freaking born? Like, why? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why are these things happening? It helps me to get to the root of, why I'm here, to the root of why some things have happened. And then it helps me to use that, then, like I said, to design my next move. Mm-hmm. And that leads me to a sense of well-being. When I feel like my life is on purpose and not an accident, when I feel like I have focus and I have reason for being here, it gives me clarity, it gives me gratitude, and increases my peace, my calm, and my purpose. It gives direction to my work, to my life. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is an awareness and presence. It also is a lifestyle for me. It's a lifestyle. Being mindful, being aware, being present in the moment, the now. It can be practiced in many ways as well. So it brings me to this place of being focused on my current situation, so that I can fully experience it, and so that I can respond to life circumstances, to my relationships, to situations, and not just react. Because what I found for me that happened before I learned mindfulness was that something happens, I react. Something happens, I react. Something happens, I react. Now with mindfulness, something happens, I can sit with it for a moment, and I can respond. It gives me time to create a response and not just a reaction. Because when I would, and sometimes I still do, I'm not going to say I'm perfect with it, but when I react, I find out that I usually end up going back, oh gosh, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Now I got to go fix, repair, all of this, undo, redo. Whereas if I had just paused for a second, checked out what was really going on, take a note from my internal self, get some guidance, then I can respond thoughtfully, not attaching it to all of that in the past, not attaching or projecting into the future. Just now. What is it now? What do I hear now? And then, like I said, then I can respond. So for me, these practices have helped me to reclaim my power. They have helped me to transform my life. Like I said, the power to respond instead of reacting, and respond thoughtfully. And they've given me time to make some decisions. These practices give me time to make decisions about, where I'm going. Also, I get to be the observer. I get to now, as one who is mindful and who meditates, I get to observe myself. I get to observe my world. You know, some things don't require a response or reaction. Some things I just need to see. I just need to observe and without judgment. Like, what does it matter how I feel about it sometimes, you know? It just is. So I've moved back to my space of curiosity and wonder where I lived as a child and where I love. It's why I taught kindergarten for 20 years. It's why I enjoyed raising my children. I love the curiosity that children have. I love the why. I love it because what kind of life is it this just to come here, take in all the information and just roll with it? Okay, you say that? Okay, okay. Oh, that's what it is? Oh, okay. That's not fun to me. That's not living to me. Living to me is really why? Why you think that? Why you say that? Why is that true? Why do we do that? You know, why is that? Why is that right? Why is that wrong? You know, and I love that. So it has brought me back to that place of questioning myself, my thoughts, my beliefs, my behaviors, you know, things around me, and wondering. And I feel like wonder just leads you to new, more information. And like I said, you begin to love the questions and seek those more than the answers. You know, you begin to just experience life, just allow it to unfold without having to control every little thing, without having to be right or call someone else wrong. You know, it just is, you know. So I don't know. For me, being mindful and being in a state of living in a state of meditation allows me to just calm down, to live intentionally, to live peacefully, and to let others do the same. So let's see where we are. Let me go back now. I wanted to, let me tell you a little bit about the course layout. So the 8 sessions, of the 8 sessions, 1 or 2 of them may be pre-recorded. And like this, you will play the recording and interact with it. So asynchronously, every student, every person in the class every member can do it at their own pace. But it will be 1 or 2 of the 8 sessions that will be recorded that way. The video recording would be sent to you via email, and you could just engage with it there. Let's see. Optional weekly labs. So I'm in the process of thinking through, and once you actually sign up for the course and we have a core group of people taking the course, we can talk about this more deeply, but I'm actually in the process of thinking through possible labs where we could meet once or twice a week and not have a mini lesson, just sit together, just sit in meditation. No mindful movement, just sit in meditation together. You could come, you could go at your own will, and that would be an additional cost of $8 a session. And then there's private sessions, one-on-one. If you or a group of you want to meet with me for an hour session, it would be $75 an hour. We would come, we would sit, we could talk about, whatever it is that you need to talk about. It could be, like I said, one-on-one, or it could be a small group of people who work together. If it's 2 or 3 of you, then you split the cost of the hour, right? We could discuss your goals, your challenges with the course, or your challenges with mindfulness and meditation, your action plan. We could, meditate together as we strategize for what's good for you. As a Reiki healing conduit, those sessions are also offered privately and go for a price that we can discuss if that's something that you want to do. So the course dates, March 10th is, the date of the informational session. So the first week that we would meet as a course, after everyone decides whether or not to join, would be March 17th. The next date is March 24th, March 31st, April 7th, April 14th, April 21st, April 28th would definitely be the one asynchronous class that would be in a video recorded class. May 5th and May 12th. So what you have there is 9 dates. Once we come together as a cohort and decide who's in, then we will decide on May 5th or May 8th as the final, or 12th as the final class. So that's a decision we'll make together. All right, so that's all the information I have for you. So what I want to do now is just take you through a quick movement, a mindful movement exercise, and then we'll finish up with a short meditation out, and that'll be it. So let me get this laptop to a place where you can see my entire body. So I'm gonna stop the video for a minute. Hear me? This to another space. Okay, good. So, work. Oh, let's see my whole body. Can you see me? Lower it just a little bit more. Okay, now you can see my entire body. So, I'm just going to leave that there. All right. So, this activity or this mindful movement exercise or practice is called body bounce. And I do this one pretty much every morning just to awaken my body and to ground and center myself, connecting to the earth. So I'm grounding. And I'm going to imagine myself standing on the actual earth. And I'm feeling the energy from the earth come up through my feet into my body. I'm feeling the energy from my body going down through my feet, connecting to the earth. So that's grounding. I am going to turn my toes in just a little bit. So my heels are slightly out a little bit. My hips are, my feet are hip width distance apart from each other. I'm going to slightly bend my knees. I'm going to relax my shoulders back here. And I am going to bounce. Bounce. Remove my earrings because I think they've been making noise. I'm just going to bounce. And as I bounce, I can feel the energy flowing through my body, awakening, especially after sitting for that period of time. And then I'll stop. As you stop, notice, what do you feel? What do you feel? Yes, yes. What do you feel? I feel tingling all through my palms, my arms, my body. Mm. And bounce. My feet never leave the floor. Bounce and stop. And notice the energy flowing through your body. I'll repeat this 3 to 7 times. I'm connecting, grounding, connecting, exchanging this energy back and forth. And I can actually feel it flowing now. Notice the difference you feel in your body from when you were sitting and listening. This time, as I do my body bounce, sometimes I call it my morning dance, um, I'm going to inhale before I start and then exhale as I bounce. So here I go. Inhale. When I run out of breath, I stop. Feel the energy. Inhale. Bounce. Exhale. Notice. See if you can exhale even longer, which means you have to maybe control the release of the air. Here we go. Inhale. I think that was about 5. Let's do one more. We'll do 6 today. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to take a seat right here instead of moving everything back again. And we'll do our exit practice, our exit sitting meditation. I think I'll sit on the floor. So if you would, take a moment, close your eyes to shut out the outside world, to go in. Notice your breathing, maybe quite different from the first meditation. Notice the energy in your body. You might notice pulsating rhythms of energy flow through different parts of your body. Just notice. Feels so good to be alive. What are you grateful for in this moment? And breathe. You are worth it. You are a spirit being in a physical body. You deserve time to be with yourself, to be in the moment, to be in connection, to nurture connection, to build a capacity for self mastery, self knowing. You deserve time with you. This is love. This is self love. There's nothing wrong with loving yourself and breathe. How are you feeling? Is that beneficial for you? If so, how can you continue in that feeling? If not, how can you redesign it? Feel the energy flowing through your body. Hands are open to receive all that your source wants to give you, wants you to experience. And breathe. Beautiful soul family. ESF. Return your awareness to your breath. Begin to bring some movement back, wiggling your fingers and toes, and rotating your head from side to side, small circles. Breathe in and sigh out. Ultimate relaxation. Slowly begin to open your eyes, returning to the space. There you are. Been beautiful being with you. Thank you for your time and your energy. And thank yourself for giving yourself this energy and this time, this moment. Well, the decision is yours to make. Hope to hear from you. Well, let me rephrase that. If you are signing up for the course, I will hear from you by Wednesday night at midnight Pacific Standard Time, which would give you to what, 3 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So go into meditation, be mindful in your decision making, and know what is best for you. After this next session, after the end of the next session, the first session, there is no refund available. So be mindful, be thoughtful, be intentional about your decision, and do what is best for you, you, you. That's it. Welcome to Just So You Know University. Why? Oh, you, where it is all about you. You mastering you, you knowing you loving you, and you evolving to your highest version. I am your instructor, your guide, Robin, Dr. Rob Cooper, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.